Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA, I make videos for NFL. All these videos they get posted on the subreddit right here. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. Anything you need, you can ask me questions about the slate. I'll reply to you. Excuse me, guys. Up until lock, after lock, all the good stuff. So that'll be linked down below. And if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on Twitter right there. All right, so let's get into my lineup from tonight. Yeah, we'll just get right through this real quick. So, reason I'm doing it this way is because I have night slate going. But yeah, gonna be a great night. I'm in other contests too, but this the other one I could found. But yeah, gonna be a great night. Um, my core today, absolutely new. Kevin Durant, I told everyone was a must for me. He smashed. Precious Achua core play, he smashed. Dennis Smith Jr. core play, he smashed. Miles McBride core play, he smashed. And then Dante DiVincenzo core play, he smashed. Basically a core 5 today, core easily smashed. Round out my lineup with just, Cam Thomas just costs me infinite money tonight, but that's all right. I'm not going to complain about a good night. If you guys are looking for more in-depth content where I give you guys player pools, cores, private videos, night slate content, showdown content, my Discord link will be down below. I also do prize picks content, all that good stuff. I already have my prop video out for tomorrow, but sportsbook content as well. I'm literally in Discord 24 hours a day, trying to find an edge on pretty much anything I can. Like today it was Miles McBride. I put $200 on his PRA. Last night it was Tyrese Halliburton. That line was just absolutely insane. I nuked that. So yeah, it's pretty fun. My Discord link will be down below. All right, let's get into the slate. So DeJounte Murray questionable. We have DeAndre Hunter probable. We have Clint Capella still remaining out here for Atlanta. So pretty high total here. I believe it's like 238 total or something. I forget. But most of the games on the slate are pretty high totals. But yeah, good spot. I mean, Philly's just completely different. No Pat Bev, no Springer. Joel Embiid's out. Batum's out. So like completely different matchup here. I think it's decent. 9.3K for Trae Young does seem a bit too cheap. Now, I would really, really like him if DeJounte Murray's out. Still think he's a solid play if DeJounte Murray does play, though. But yeah, I think Trey's solid. Would really like him if DeJounte's out. Now, if DeJounte's in, this grouping of like DeJounte and Jalen Johnson, they'd be fine plays. No must here, just fine. Just like filler pieces in. DeJounte Murray's up, he's down, but he clearly does have a ceiling. I would say Jalen Johnson's probably a bit safer. He'll play big minutes as well. Stat sheet stuff for a good rebounder. He should be able to feast here. But yeah, I would say they're more priced right if DeJounte Murray does play. Bay would be priced right. Bogey would be priced right. And then Bruno Fernando will get the backup 5 run. He is a viable value if you do need the salary relief. Now, if DeJounte Murray is out, then I really, really like Trae Young at the top. Bogdan Bogdanovic, I would absolutely love at 5.9K. And then, Bay would be very safe. He's just going to play huge minutes. Jalen Johnson would be solid at 7.4. And then I really like Okongwu regardless if DeJounte Murray plays or not. If you guys watched my video last time, I said Okongwu is going to go under owned because he kind of let everyone down this game. That was the case. He was low owned. He absolutely smashed. I don't think that would be the case tomorrow, but yeah, I think Okongwu is a pretty good play there. And then Bruno doesn't really change much for me. All right, moving on to the Sixers. Like I said, Joel Embiid out, D'Anthony Melton out, Patrick Beverley got traded, Nick Batum is out, Jaden Springer got traded, and what else? Am I missing something? Pat Bev traded, Jaden Springer traded, Melton out, Batum out, and Embiid out. All right, so with the Sixers here, they're going to have to run a really tight rotation, right? You're going to see Maxey, you're going to see Harris, you're going to see Oubre, you're going to see Reed, you're going to see KJ Martin, you're going to see Bamba, and then I would assume some Ricky Council and Terquavion Smith. So with that being said, with how thin they are and in a really, really good matchup, I think Tyrese Maxey is one of my favorite spend ups on the slate. You're going to get close to 40 minutes in a competitive game. He is their go-to guy. It's a really good spot, pace-up spot as well. I think he looks great. I think Tobias Harris, even at this price point, still a very good play. Good rebounder, can stuff the stat sheet. With no Joel Embiid and everyone else out, his assist rates are going to go up as well. So I still like Tobias even at that price point. Kelly Oubre, I think, is over PRA. I think they're going to have to play him here. Pretty low, pretty low floor when he's not hitting shots, but he clearly does have a ceiling. I know usage has been, a bit up and down of late, but I still think he's going to have to play a decent amount of minutes. I like his upside in tournaments. And then Paul Reed, ever since, kind of feeling better of late from that illness, should play around 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more. Can rack up defensive stats, solid rebounder. I think, kind of like a Kongu, he is a decent play. And like I said, we'll see what they do with the starting lineup, but like it's gonna be Maxi Harris, Oubre Reed, and then probably like a KJ Martin or something. We'll see, but um, you know, this group we're definitely gonna have some value here. Like you're probably gonna see some Council, you're gonna see some Smith. KJ Martin I think is gonna have to play a decent amount of minutes. I think he's a decent value. And like I said, I'll make updates on Reddit when I kind of go through this a bit more later. But like I said, you're going to see some Council, you're going to see some Smith, absolute wagons in the G League. And I watched a ton of Smith in the Summer League. He was incredible, if I recall correctly. All right, moving on to Washington. So Daniel Gafford got traded. I forget where he went. Where'd he go? Who cares? But main bumps from that, I would expect Eugene Amore to start at the 5. If that's the case, I think he stands out as one of the best value plays on the slate. And then with that being said, you're going to see like more minutes for guys like Kispert, might see a bit more Bale, and the main guys. So like not a good matchup here going up against Boston. If you want to target any of the main guys, I think Kuzma would be the guy for me. Denny's minutes have ticked down of late, so he'd probably be my least favorite of this grouping. And then, like Tyus Jones, Jordan Poole. I would honestly give the edge to Tyus right now, but Poole does have a ceiling. And then, yeah, if Eugene starts, I like Eugene. And then, like I said, you'll probably see a bit more like Kispert, possibly a Bale. If you want to play for the blowout, Bale could absolutely crush. So, bit intriguing there. All right, moving on to Boston. Really, really good spot here. We have Tatum questionable. Tillman got traded here. I'm not expecting anyone that got traded today to be playing tomorrow. So we're going to go under that assumption here for pretty much every team. All right, so if Tatum is in, I mean, it's a good spot. I mean, 9.7K Tatum going up against the Wizards, I think is a good play. It's just, can the Wizards keep this game competitive? I am not sure. Jaylen Brown would be priced right. You guys know I always like to target Gafford. Unfortunately, he is not on the Wizards anymore, but he should be able to have his way with whoever they put up on him. So I'm intrigued by Porzingis for tournaments. I would say he's priced right, though. And then the guards would be priced right, and then Al Horford would be able to play for me. If Tatum's out, I would assume Al Horford moving to the starting lineup. He'd actually be a good play at 6K. Would just be very safe. Stat sheet stuffer that have to play big minutes. And then bumps to everyone. I would really like Jaylen Brown. I'd really like Porzingis. I think both the guards here would be solid plays. Would really like Al Horford. Then you're going to see a bit of Pritchard off the bench, some Sam Hauser off the bench. They would get bumps. Would be in play for value as well. All right, moving on to Houston. Fred VanVleet, Tari Eason remain out here. I believe last game they went starting lineup of Jalen Green at the point, Amen Thompson. Let me just double check. I know it was Amen Thompson who started. I believe it was Jalen Green at the point. Come on. Here we go. Yeah, that was the case. Then saw 20 minutes for Aaron Holiday, saw a bit of Whitmore, etc., etc. So the guy that stands out to me once again is Jabari Smith. With no Tari Eason and especially no Fred VanVleet, he is going to play all the minutes he can handle. Good rebounder, good point per minute guy. He is just too cheap. I really like Jabari Smith at that price point. Jalen Green at the point, I mean, I'm pretty sure he started at the point. 1 assist, just crazy. But he has a ceiling. I love Sengun at 9K. Toronto's defense has just been piss poor of late as well. He should be able to dominate here. So I think Sengun stands out as a really good spend up at 9K. Amen Thompson, I still really like at 5.3K as well. Good point per minute guy. It should play over 30 minutes, 5.3K. I still think it's a bit too cheap, so I think Amen's still a pretty good play. Dylan Brooks is playable at 4.8, but I prefer Amen. And then you're going to see a bit of Whitmore and Aaron Holiday. Aaron Holiday is actually playable at 3.4K. You give him 20 minutes at this price point. Yeah, he's going to be a fair value. So, yeah, let's move on. Don't know if I get to anyone else. Let's move on to Toronto. So, like I said, I'm not expecting any of these guys to be playing here. So, I would expect starting lineup to be the same. So, Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, Manuel Quickly, Jakob Poeltl, and Gary Trent. As far as the backup point goes, they could just stagger Quickly and Scotty and just play Scotty as the backup point. I think that'll probably be the case, something like that for now. So with that being said, going up against Houston, pretty tough spot here. But I have interest in all the main guys. Jakob Poeltl, I still think is too cheap at 6.2K. Tough matchup though. I think he's decent at that price point. Emmanuel quickly, I like his upside in tournaments. He's been up, he's been down, but high usage player. RJ Barrett's actually been the one dominating usage play. I actually like him at 7.1K. He's been popular, but I think it's for good reason. Playing huge minutes as well. Like he should play close to 40 minutes here. So like I like RJ Barrett quite a bit. I think Scotty Barnes is solid at 8.5K. I'd actually give the edge to RJ Barrett, which is actually wild to say at this point. And then Gary Trent's playable. You guys know, hits his shots, he'll reach value. And then, like I said, backup point, probably like, Scotty Barnes. And then we're going to see a bit of Grady Dick, probably some Noah in the rotation as well. And then Gary Trent solid. All right, moving on to Charlotte. LaMelo out, Mark Williams out, Cody Martin is probable, and then Kyle Lowry isn't going to be playing here. So Miles Bridges has just been on an absolute tear with the team to himself. I'm not going to say no if you want to go to him, even at this price point. I still think he's decent. Brandon Miller also been on a tear of late. Still not going to say no. They're just running a really tight rotation here, playing their main guys huge minutes. And then someone get traded today. PJ Washington got traded, so I think Nick Richards probably gonna have to play pretty big minutes here. I think he's decent at 5'9". Cody Martin, I think, is priced right. And then you're probably going to see that they might have to play Leaky Black a bit more than he's been playing with no PJs. He's playable. And then we could potentially see like a JT Thor into the rotation maybe. But we'll see there. Yeah, no PJ. I believe went to Dallas, right? I forget with all the trades, Jay. All right, Milwaukee on a back-to-back here. Keep an eye on the Dame news. Middleton's going to be out here. Campaign got traded. So if same guys are out that were out tonight are out again, I mean, I absolutely love Giannis going up against the Charlotte Hornets. Now, blowout risk here, even if Giannis is here with the team to himself, but I love Giannis at that price point. Portis is fine. Brook Lopez is solid at 6K, but the value plays that I was high on today, I'm going to be high on once again here in Jay Crowder and Pat Connaughton if the same guys are out that are out again. I think both will be good values. Give the edge to Crowder, but like both, and you're going to see some AJ Green in the rotation as well. Now, if Dame's in, and then Middleton's out, you can get the Dame. I still would really like Giannis. Probably wouldn't play Portis. I think Brook Lopez is still decent. Beasley's playable, and then Crowder, Connaughton, both downgrades, but both be still fair to solid values. Crowder mainly. All right, moving on to Denver. Another back-to-back here. We'll keep an eye on KCP. If he's out, they start Justin Holiday. I do want to see how many minutes he ended with, but it's just absolutely disgusting. 22 minutes. Played Reggie a bit more. I said that in Discord. Thought they could do that. KCP's in. KCP's a playable value. I think Jokic looks good. Give the edge to Giannis, though. Jamal Murray's been on a tear. I still think he's too cheap. So, like Jamal Murray there. MPJ, Aaron Gordon, Spider-Man stuff, Spider-Man gift, they're both fine filler pieces. MPJ, the big game tonight. I do like MPJ over Gordon when they're this close in price point, though. And then if they start like a Holiday, sure, you can go there at the min price. And then Reggie Jackson, is playable for value. Should see around 20 minutes, maybe a bit more. And then Watson will be in the rotation. All right, moving on to the Kings. I think Sabonis is fine. Fox today, too. Been up and down as well. I think he's an okay contrarian play. We'll see what his ownership comes in at. But it's the Wings. Like, they're pissing me off. I'm going to say it again. If you think Malik Monk gets extended, he is going to break the slate at this price point, so he's always a scary fade. It's just someone, when he gets ownership, I'm always just going to fade. I faded last time, and he just absolutely nuked me. But, yeah, the minutes on the Wings, they're up, they're down. But if you fade Monk and he gets 30 minutes, you are probably going to have a losing night if he's popular. Keegan Murray, I think, is a bit too cheap at 5'3". He lost big minutes to foul trouble. He should play around 30 minutes. Yeah, I think he's solid. I think he's a bit too cheap. And then Herter is fine. Harrison Barnes playable. Trey Lyles, I think, is an okay value. Should see high teens minutes. All right, last game of the night here. We have Zion questionable. We have Jonas questionable. Najee Marshall is questionable. So if Jonas sits, they start Nance. I think Nance is one of the better value plays on the slate. Herb Jones at 4.4, I think, is actually a decent value. Very, very safe at this price point, especially if Najee's out. And then the main guys, I think CJ looks pretty good going up against the Lakers. Lakers have just been absolutely getting carved by opposing guards, so I don't mind CJ there. And then Zion does seem a bit too cheap at 7.1K, so I think the main guys look pretty good here. And then I like Larry Nance if Jonas is out. Nance would still be playable if Jonas is in. And then if Zion's out, I think Trey Murphy's okay for value anyway. And then if Zion's out, really like Trey Murphy for value. Herb Jones would be a good value. Would really like Ingram. Would love CJ. And then you'll probably get more run for like Dyson. All right, Lakers. So back to back here as well. D'Lo was out tonight. They started Christie, and Christie got hurt. Torian Prince started the second half. So just keep an eye on it. I think 80's okay. I think LeBron's fine. Always prefer Anthony Davis to LeBron. If D'Lo plays, then I don't like much else here. Rui, I actually think is okay for value. Prince would be playable, but wouldn't love much. If D'Lo's out again, then yeah, I like Rui. If Christie's out, I think Prince is fine. And then the main guys look good. And then Austin Reeves will have to play a ton of minutes. And then you saw some Skylar Mays tonight, and you saw some Jackson Hayes as well. So that's going to wrap it up for the video. I hope you guys had a great night tonight, and I will talk to y'all in the next one.